Hi, welcome to In the Loop. I am Sue Nelson. In the Loop is the show that does more than just take you behind the scenes of entertainment. We go one step further to bring in the industry guests to show you how you can get there yourself. Today's topic, guerrilla filmmaking. If you've got $2,000 and a handy cam, you could be the next Quentin Tarantino. Stay tuned to In the Loop and I'll show you how. Hi, welcome back to In the Loop. I am Sue Nelson. And it's said that some of the studios may be on a crash course with destruction. The average movie now is costing $50 million to produce. So independent and expensive movies are becoming the rage, as seen in Clerks, a highly successful movie with a theatrical release. Also The Brothers McMullen, which was a student film that actually edged out the $200 million Waterworld out of several theaters. Now Dan Marvish, who started Slamdance 95 and answer to Sundance 95, Robert Redford's Sundance 95, that he didn't think the independent filmmakers were getting what they deserved. He says that this new generation of filmmakers are the Nike generation. Let me quote him here in Buzz magazine. "We're the Nike generation," says Marvish. "We just do it. Young filmmakers see the Mike Ovitz deals being cut and they say, screw this, let's make a movie." So how do you do it? Well, I've got two gentlemen here today to show us how. The first is president of Totem Films. He's a director and independent filmmaker, Todd Braley, and also director of photography, Scott Stewart. Welcome to the show, guys.
Nice.
So what do you attribute this new rage in independent filmmaking? What do you think is bringing it about?
I would say the one thing that's bringing it out is basically, yeah, we're just sick of Hollywood, turning us down. You know, I mean, it's like you put forth all this time and effort to try and do stuff, you know, or else you're throwing your scripts around and trying to get money, and you don't need money to make a movie. You can make a movie on nothing. And so it's just basically just get out there and do it. It's not a matter
Nike generation.
Yeah, just do it.
Did you also feel you're able to discuss issues that maybe aren't getting the theatrical releases? You know, for instance, I worked with you in a film called High Hopes about domestic violence. I mean, that's not exactly going to be maybe a box office hit.
Well, I don't know these days. With the stuff that's going on these days.
You always hope when you're making it, you know. But what we're at right now is we're basically, you know, we're basically in the learning process. We're making movies. We learn from one, we go to the next one, and pretty soon, you know, somebody's eventually going to look at it and say, "Wow, that's really good." And we're, you know, we're leaning on, you know, these guys that did Clerks and something like that to show us the way, you know, to show people that it can be done. You know, we'll leave the big budget $200 million movies to the studios, and we'll make the independent films that somebody's going to watch and love, and just, you know, you totally go by character development and story. And
yeah, well, and I've heard that there's a real backlash going back to stories. People, they're just oversensitized. I mean, they've just seen so much violence and so much action that now what's drawing them in are, you know, the Pulp Fiction monologues. It's the stories, it's the characters that you guys can, you know, take the time to create, and that's the stuff that doesn't cost as much as blowing up buildings.
Yeah,
those are the movies that I love the most. You know, those movies that you have character development. I'm not one to go see the big action movies because I love to come out of a theater going, "Whoa, that was really good." Yeah,
so it really affects you. Now, you are a director of photography. Now, forgive me, I mean, there are so many backstage terms. So if you could explain to everybody, what is the director of photography?
Okay.
Yes, what is it?
Who are you, Scott Stewart?
We don't know yet, do we? The director of photography traditionally is going to be the one that checks lighting, oversees, makes sure that the atmosphere and the mood is what the director wants, and then make sure it stays that way through the whole thing. What we've been working on so far, I've been the director of photography and the camera operator, and it's going to be hard to
grip.
Yeah, really. I mean, I've
else.
done everything, but it's going to be really hard to wean me off the camera operator because, you know, in a big budget film, the direct photography will not, you know, usually touch the camera. He'll decide lenses, filters, and and
The,
where lights
the
need to
feel of the film,
The
like if
overall
the film
look
looks
of the
fuzzy
film.
or gloomy or...
If it's going to be dark and gloomy, or if it's going to be real bright, like one of my favorite directors, John Hughes, his movies, you know, are all real bright, and that's, you know, that's because of a director of photography has to get that look, you know.
And so that's referred to as the cinematographer in a film?
Yeah, director of photography and cinematographer basically are the same thing.
Okay.
But we haven't had the glorious chance of working with film yet. We're still in the video, which is another reason why we can do things so cheap, because we're able to shoot things on video, but shoot them in a film manner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shoot them with film angles. Like one of the things that we did it in letterbox. You know, we taped off the monitor.
I think we even get to see some of that.
Yeah, we'll have some of that to show
Now, so
later.
you are the director.
Yes.
So you two kind of work as a team. So as the director, what exactly does your job entail?
My job entails, you know, after I've looked at a script, you know, say for a particular scene, or else, you know, the overall look of the whole movie is basically what my job is, and to make sure that the actors are that what I feel as though the actors should be putting out as far as their emotions at certain points, their highs, their lows, what they want from the other character. I mean, there's a lot of in-depth stuff.
See, that's great. There's nothing worse as an actress, you know, when you go to a director and, okay, what did I just go to? It's so nice to get somebody who gives, I mean, I don't want the director to dictate to me, but I like to get an idea of what
and I don't like to dictate. I don't like to say to an actor, you know, that you have to do this, you have to do that. Unless there's something in the script that I feel as though needs to come out at this point, that I need this person to have this particular emotion, or I need them, or even in which direction they go. You know, from here I want you to go to here, I want you to pick this pencil up, I want you to, you know, but if an actor, I feel as though that actors deserve a lot of respect. Okay, and
me too.
most directors, and I've seen this in previous things that I've worked on, not as the director, but or even just watching. I've seen directors yell and scream, and there's just a zillion of them out there that do that, and I don't find the purpose in getting irritated, getting mad, yelling and screaming, because it's just, A, it's childish, B, it's very unprofessional, and C, oh, your actors are going to love you. After that, I just don't get it.
So what, are they getting so stressed out over picking all the camera angles?
They're just stress cases in general, I think. I think some of them are just, like I read something about Oliver Stone, which surprised me. You know, just the fact that he's this psycho screamer, and I couldn't believe that he's like yells and screams at his actors, and I was like, why?
So you pick the shots, you work with the cinematographer to decide the feel.
Yeah, I give him my shot ideas, and basically as far as Scott's concerned, Scott, I can give him an idea and he'll improve it.
That's why we work together so well, and we'll work together for the rest of time, because
until somebody tells us we can't.
And then we'll do something about that.
And then we'll do something about that, right.
Well, and I have seen your work, and it's fabulous. So now that we know what you do, we're going to come back and take a look at how you do it and see some clips. So we'll be right back to In the Loop with Todd Braley and Scott Stewart with a look at their work.
You don't have to embarrass a friend to keep her from drinking and driving. You could just explain things to her.
It's 6:45 and our party's at 9 and I still got shopping to do. But if you drive, you'll have to drop me off and pick me up, and then I'll be late and you won't be ready. So I'm going to drive and drop you off, and then I'm going to do all the things I need to do, and I'll be back in time to help you set things up. Okay? All right.
Take the keys, call a cab, take a stand. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Hi, welcome back to In the Loop. I'm Sue Nelson, taking you behind the scenes of the entertainment industry. Today's topic, guerrilla filmmaking. Our guests, Todd Braley and Scott Stewart, director and director of photography. Now we're going to take a look at some of the work that you've done. Our first clip is called?
A Deadly Mix. It was a project that I wrote myself and another guy did the writing on, and I went ahead. It took me about a year from pre-production to post-production to get it finished, but it was something, it deals with drug abuse and pregnancy, and it's a big heart thing for me because I'm being a recovering alcoholic and drug addict myself. It's
Great.
A lot of the stuff in it is me.
Yeah, you're making a difference. Again, what independent filmmakers can do, things close to their heart. Okay, well, let's take a look at the clip you brought. Wow, that's pretty intense. Now, who did you do that for?
I actually did that myself to try and just get it into like rehab centers and high schools and that.
Did you have any success with that?
I originally had a distributor all set up for it that I had been talking to from when I started writing the script all the way through, because I just didn't want to be caught, you know, naked in the wind after it was done with nowhere to go with it. And after I finished it and sent him a copy of it, he told me that there were too many white people in it.
Wow.
Well, no, it was irritating because in the film I wanted to get away from stereotypes. I'm so sick and tired of these stereotypical movies where they take the black community or they take the Hispanic community, and everybody is, all the blacks and the Hispanics are all the drug dealers, they're all the bad guys in that, because they're not. You know, in this I get, well, I am, a little political thing. But that kind of stuff is just really, you know, white people are on drugs too. In fact, the majority of America, you know, the majority of the people that are on drugs are the white community. You know, I mean, we're not oblivious to.
Yeah. See, this what I think is so great is you can take something so close to your heart and do that.
Yeah. A lot of the situations that the blonde who found the girl there, was a lot of things that actually happened to me. So I put it in a female role.
Yeah.
And
so you said rehab centers. That's something you thought of. What are some other places? I mean, do you go mostly through the festival circuit? Do you do things for nonprofits?
You can take your stuff and you can go to the festival circuit. We've also, the film that you were in that we just finished, we have festivals that we're going to enter it in and that, but then also we have run into a woman over at Columbia that wants us to add 30 minutes to it, because it's a 45-minute movie, and she wants us to add 30 minutes to it so we could possibly get distribution.
Yay, and that's like, that's every independent filmmaker's dream.
Yeah, either for a video store or actually a small theatrical release, which she said that, I went,
terrific.
Yo!
All right, well, let's take a look at another clip. What's coming up?
This next one is called a television pilot that myself and some other friends have shot. Scott did the camera work on it. We came up with the concept. It's a sketch comedy
so more
based
television
TV show.
related.
Yeah, this is more television related.
Great. Okay, let's take a look at that. A little different than the first clip.
A little different.
That's great. So now that's more television. So where do you hope to market that?
Well,
or is this a pilot to show to people?
This thing's been everywhere. I mean, it's been to Japan. It's been to the BBC. Our whole problem is being that we don't have an agent to say, you know, or agent, lawyer, whatever you want to say, to protect us. You know, most of the companies, most of the big stations, and that they won't look at it because if they look at it.
Have you registered somewhere? Do you have it registered?
Oh, it's all copywritten.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, totally legal. I mean, we're covered on all bases, but you know, we've only had a couple. MTV looked at it, which was really nice, and
they do The State, which is a great sketch comedy.
Yeah, and also UPN. I mean, there's people interested. They like the writing, but
the point is you're doing it. You know, you're a director. You're directing. It was like, I don't know if you saw my show with Reno Wilson, who's an actor, and I said, what is the difference between working actors and non-working actors? He's like, you know, working actors are working, whether they're getting paid or not.
Yeah, we don't care about money. If we have an idea, we're just going to go out and do it.
Now, where can you get funds? Do you get investors? Do you put up your own monies? Do you?
We've been doing commercials and infomercials and stuff to get money into the fund, and then we use that to
do what you artistically.
Yeah, I mean, but it also comes down to not needing money. You know, I mean, you can do something. You can go out and shoot something for nothing.
Yeah,
If you have the people.
Yeah.
If you have Todd. Todd can get anything he wants.
They calling him the king of low budget.
Have you seen
Todd
in
Braley.
Shawshank Redemption?
Yes.
He's the guy who can get things.
That's great. How do you get things so cheaply? You know what? In fact, I want to show our next clip because you, like you said, Shawshank Redemption, you went out, you got some locations that just most people would have to pay through the nose for. I don't know how you got these. So we're going to take a look. I know this clip. I was in this movie. It's called High Hopes. We're going to take a look at that right now.
Okay. Sister, you got money?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, can I help y'all?
Oh, we're just getting some gas.
Yeah, where y'all headed?
California?
You all right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just sitting back there.
Uh-huh. All right, well, y'all be careful now, all right?
All right, bye-bye. All right. Shut up. Shut up.
Something wrong? No, I just heard y'all's going out to California. Be careful, there's a lot of fruitcakes out there.
I can't believe what a fabulous job. I'm so proud to have been a part of that. I have to tell you, when you showed me the finished tape, I was just shocked on just what you guys were able to accomplish. And I think that clip alone can really show people. And I mean, again, that's video. To me, I know there's video and film circuits, but I think, you know, I'm not a stickler film versus video, but I think it looks fabulous.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So now, how did you get the location for that?
We just asked. I saw the location and I went up to the guy and said, hey, look, you know, we're working on this film. We have no budget, and would you mind if we used your gas station for a few hours? But the big thing on this is, if you're going to use somebody's location, you bend to their rules.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make your own rules.
Mm-hmm.
You do, you know. If like the gas station, we had to move our stuff out of the way when their customers showed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it takes a little bit longer, it's a little bit more time, but you get the location.
Well, and I think
how much more generic could that gas station have been?
But it was perfect for the feel of the film,
Right.
you know, out in the desert like that. And I think that just in a location like that, it just amazes me. I guess they don't see a huge movie truck pull up, so they think, oh, this guy's not going to give us $20,000,
Right.
which is what at least they charged, you know. Huge studio.
I've never been turned down for any location that I've ever wanted, except one, and it was a hospital, and that was it.
It's a hospital. Well, the sick people wouldn't like it. No, I'm teasing. All right, well, we're going to come back after this break, and we are going to talk. I'd like you to really tell people how, the bare bones, how they can get involved. So we'll be right back to In the Loop.
Your first time as a junior achievement elementary school volunteer can be a little scary. Can you get kids that young to think about their futures? Call us about volunteering, and you'll see. We'll supply you with training for this new program, and the kids will supply plenty of motivation.
Hi, welcome back to In the Loop. I'm Sue Nelson with Guerrilla Filmmaking. Now, it's said in Hollywood, according to Buzz Magazine, the hottest filmmaker around is NYU Film School dropout Salvador Stabile. He made his movie Gravesend with less than $5,000, a rented 16mm camera, a couple of borrowed lights, and his girlfriend was fixing lasagna for the crew. So how can people watching do this? I'm going to ask Todd and Scott. You know, where do you get the experience? Where did you guys start out? How did you get the background? Did you study?
Start out the way we did, so you don't make expensive mistakes when you start shooting on film. You can shoot on video like we have, and it looks great if you shoot with a film technique. It looks great like that. You get experience. I went to school. Todd went to school for a little bit. I left school, and after reading a lot of books.
Actually, film schools.
Yeah.
We both went to film schools, and it was kind of funny that we both decided not to go to film school because it was like, you know what, I personally,
I knew experience,
right.
yeah.
I knew more going into the film school, and when I got in there, it was just like they're just telling me things I already knew. So it was like, you know what, I'm not going to waste my money. I'll just work on.
And I've also heard that the VCR is now what's teaching a lot of people that kids are just watching, you know, movies by, you know, whether it's Scorsese or Tarantino or whoever they idolize, and that way they're getting a real feel for the shots and things.
Yeah.
Now, do you pick the shots? I know you do some kind of funky shots in High Hopes, the last clip we saw. Now, do you pick that out beforehand? Is it something that sort of hits you?
I used to make a shot list and walk on the set and just throw it in the trash. You know, you spend 2 or 3 days or sometimes longer working on a shot list, and now it's just like I don't even bother with a shot list anymore unless it's a complicated scene. Scott and I'll sit down and go, okay, we need to do this and do this
You
and
sort
do
of
this.
have it in your mind.
Over the shoulders and that kind of thing. Todd knows, and we just storyboard the elaborate shots, crane shots.
So where are you aspiring to go with this? I mean, do you want to be a part of the big studios? Is that ultimately, I mean, I'll start out independent, but then, you know, do you want to, or?
I think as far as we're concerned, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I just like to be paid. I don't have to be paid a massive quantity. I don't need to be a James Cameron. I don't need to be a Martin Scorsese as far as payment is concerned. I would just like somebody to pay me, you know, a decent, a living to be able to direct.
I want people to see the film that we made and say, you know, that was a great film. That was really good, you know, and just have enough money to support my wife and everything. 'Cause right now she's supporting me, and I would love to be able to support her back. So.
But you know, I think we all as artists make these sacrifices. I'm doing the waitressing thing and the acting thing, and we all have to make these sacrifices. But look at the reel that you guys have put together. Anybody you admire? Anybody you've sort of modeled your career after?
I don't know. I think between Scott and I, we both kind of, we like so many people that we just take and lump everybody that we know together as far as, you know, either directing or you know, directors of photography, and throw everybody into this big pot and then pick what we want. 'Cause somebody told us once that we don't have a style. We just kind of,
no, we don't have any style. We don't have a specific style.
We don't have a specific
Which
style.
is nice because you want to be able to do anything. I know some of your stuff looks commercial, some of your stuff looks very film, you know, then you can do TV.
Yeah, we run the gamut. You know, we add, like High Hopes has the look of commercial. There's pieces of it that looks like a commercial. There's pieces of it that look like a movie. There's pieces that look like a TV show. I mean, there's just so much stuff thrown into it.
Well, so tell me, do people watching, those guerrilla filmmakers, those people with a handy cam, those people who have access to the public access facilities like we're using here at Century Cable, or who have a couple $1,000s, you know, how can they put a crew together? I know in Backstage West you can advertise.
Yeah, you
for
can advertise
talent.
for crew, but just do yourself a favor. If you're going to advertise for a crew, get a minimal crew. Don't ask for this huge, big movie crew because you'll never get it.
And it just complicates things anyway, don't you think?
And get people that are going to work well with you. And most of all, if you're going to do something, make sure the money that you use is going to be the money that you feed these people with.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you don't feed them, if you say, well, we're going to work for a week every day and we're not going to feed you, it's baloney.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just make them happy.
Just do it, like Dan Marvish said.
Make them happy.
Well, good luck to you. I wish High Hopes, of course, all the luck in the world.
Yes.
Because I'm in it. So I want to see that do really well in the festival circuit.
Well,
and I
think it will.
That someday I'll be having to call your secretaries to book time with you because you guys.
I'm going to give out my home number.
Because you guys
Ready
are really
for this?
good. Yeah.
909.
So yeah, if you want to get in touch with these guys, we have a project you want with them to direct. We have our In the Loop number that's listed. If you have any comments or suggestions for us, please give us a call. And thank you for watching In the Loop. I am Sue Nelson. Stay tuned next week when we have more exciting topics on how you can break into the entertainment industry. Bye.